Now that you've written, hi, how are you? You've written all these books that have been turned into movies. Does that influence how you write now? Do you see it more in a movie sense?
You know, I haven't written a ton since the movies became a big deal and since I became more involved with them. So I don't know if it will. I mean, I think right now, working on the sequel to the Hose, there are some interesting pressures. You know, having worked with Saoirse, it's like, oh, you know, you want her in every scene, kind of, but now Wanda is not her, and so it's tricky. I do sometimes think about some of the stories that I've got in the back of my computer that are unfilmable, and that is a good thing in my mind. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, I want to write something you couldn't make into a movie. So, you know, it seems like that would be kind of fun.
Cool.
All right.
Speaking of unfilmable, was there ever a discussion of showing any of Wanda's other worlds?
Yeah, actually, it was in the script. We really wanted to do it. You know, Andrew is so amazingly visual. I would have loved to have seen what he would do with that. But we were working on a non-studio budget, and that was one of the first things to go when we were like, okay, we have to cut things. We only ended up with one helicopter. I mean, there were a lot of, we didn't actually, the final scene of the movie was actually additional footage we did 6 or 7 months later. Because the movie turned out so well, we were able to, somebody kicked in a little bit more, and so we were able to do that last scene. But I mean, everything was shoestring. It was a very large budget for an independent movie, but a very small budget for kind of the caliber of movie we were doing. It's tricky.
We were curious about what the process was for casting Emily Browning, for Pet. Well,
okay.
For Wanda.
All right. Is that out now?
Yeah.
Well, Saoirse's talking about it.
Saoirse. Got on her. Actually, when we were first doing it, there was, you know, when you're doing a movie, there's some people who are thinking, okay, we want to leave this open to as many movies as we can, and then there's some people who are like, okay, we have a budget. And so originally we were kind of looking, I think it's just like day players, like really, you know, local actresses, and I said, you know, she's taking over the narrator's role. You might want to think about what that would mean if we went ahead. And luckily, at the time, Max was dating Emily, and so we had an in to like, and she was in to do it. I mean, it's a lot to ask an actress of her caliber to come in and, you know, do a day's work. You know, it's kind of a cameo sort of thing, but she was really cool about it, and she's got that amazing face. So it was really cool to have someone who's so striking and so talented come in for a day. That was very nice.
Whose idea was it to go with the white and the silver for the Hose?
Oh, that was Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew, you know, when I visualized this world, it looked like ours, more like ours than the movie does. You know, I just kind of figured they're coming in and taking over us, but they're not going to change that much. And they didn't. He still had that mindset, but he thought they would make it a little prettier and shinier than we do. And he thought because they are silver themselves, they'd have an affinity for that color, and that sort of became from the very beginning a touchstone for him of things that are more soul-oriented. There always was this hint of silver in it. He's really amazingly visual. It's so amazing. You guys have seen it, so you know how the look of it is. You know, he just really knows how to make every pebble in the scene is there for a reason and has a certain look to it. It's really
well, and it makes a good contrast between the humans in the caves and the dirt to the streamlined cleanliness.
Absolutely.